about. If you agree with someone, simply agree and pass the mic on. Or don't worry about answering a question if it's already been answered in a manner which you wouldn't be happy with. Also, I would ask the audience if you keep your applause until after the whole question has been addressed by all the candidates, rather than applauding after each candidate. Unless there's something, some particular comment you're passionate about, go ahead. But if we can just keep that to the end in the interest of time, we appreciate it. Again, we welcome you all out. These are our two mayoral candidates and our candidates for town council. We appreciate them putting forth their names and for the time and sacrifice that they have made to be here. We will begin with Mr. Barnett, and we'll allow everyone to introduce themselves quickly, and then we'll have some questions.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to say a few words tonight. I'm Russ Barnett, and I've been your mayor for the last 7 years. I've lived here for 30 years. Election time doesn't necessarily bring out the best of everybody, and it kind of eats me sometimes when people say, does the town have a plan? Did we have a plan 4 years ago? Absolutely not a plan. But in the middle of that plan came the school modernization with government education, government infrastructure, Western School Division, all meeting together to say, hey, what about we do something extraordinarily great together? What if the town would put up $2 million to build we call it the Innovation Center, CTS Center, back behind us. Now that plan went so smooth that nobody even thought, where were we going to take our kids last year had this town not put up the money for that? Anybody think that we might bus them to Cardston to Grandview? Anybody think we might bus them to Raymond? Anybody think we might spend a few $100,000 on portable schools for those kids to go? The plan was so smooth, no one even thought about that. In the middle of that, along came a drainage ditch, and on Rod Bly's last words to me, he said, Russ, build that ditch. And along comes 90-10 funding, 90% by the government, 10% by the town of Magrath. We service 9 industrial lots. We dedicated $100,000 to the pool and also secured a $350,000 grant. We negotiated with Axia for $5 million worth of infrastructure to our residents for the best high-speed internet we can have in a rural community. We also put in 5 blocks of stormwater drainage at the Loungers. We built a new pavilion with functioning bathrooms at the fish pond. We extended deep services from Rice's subdivision all the way down in front of the trailer park. So in 2014 we built 8 homes, 2015 we built 12 homes, 2016 we built 8 new homes, and 2017 9 homes. Did we have a plan? Absolutely, and I think we did a great job with that plan.
Good evening. My name is Magrath. I have been around Magrath for 13 years. I've taught in the school division here, taught multiple grades, taught to a lot of your children, worked with a lot of great people in our community. I am the new kid on the block, definitely in this forum. There's no doubt about that. My first speaking engagement was last night at the senior center, and I learned a lot. It was very eye-opening. My family lives here. I have five wonderful kids, 3 girls and 2 boys, and we love this town. We love a lot of things in this town, and in particular, my kids can go where they want in this town. We can do things in this town. There's a strong nucleus of people that are working behind the scenes in this town, making things happen. And some people say, "Why are you running for mayor? What's the purpose behind this?" I'm running for mayor because I believe that this town, our greatest asset is our people. I believe that as a group of people, we can do great things together. The mayor just mentioned some of those things. However, I would disagree with a few things. Okay, we can't put everything else on hold. Okay, no infrastructure as far as roads have been improved, street lighting has been improved. We have a few subdivisions that the town sponsored over the last few years, and frankly, nothing's been done. People are driving on dirt roads and wondering why we can't attract people to our community. So, from that standpoint, I think there can be improvements, and I look forward to working with these gentlemen. I appreciate all the time they've put in. You know, I've learned stuff from each of them, and look forward to answering a few questions. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jerry Barrow. Those who don't know me. I've served on council for a total of 12 years. I've lived in Magrath the last 36 years and raised my family here. We've enjoyed our experiences in our community. As a councillor for the town of Magrath, I've been involved in many things that I think lead me back to wanting to run again, to service those things, and to represent you as a people. We've discussed in our council many things, and the mayor's gone over what's going on this last 4 years, and that's only some of the stuff. That's the things that you see on the surface. There's a lot more behind the scenes, where you talk about why don't we have more roads paved, or why don't we have more services in the ground. It's lack of money. Unless we want to raise taxes a little bit more, and maybe we can get the government to give us more grants. The grants are always earmarked as to where you can spend them. You don't get the grant, and then you decide what to do with them. They tell you what you can do with them before you even apply. So if you can see a way to help us support our community, and we will all grow together, I would like to serve one more term on our council at least, and I ask for your vote tonight. Thank you.
Hello everybody, I'm Brian Oliver. I'd like to first thank the town residents for all the votes in 2013. After I got elected, I quickly got to work and built a temporary bridge that crossed the Pothole Creek near the golf course. That had been stuck in red tape, and so like most people, I just wanted to get to the other side so I could enjoy my bike ride. I maintained that bridge as long as it was there until the new bridge was built. When I see something that needs to be done, I try to do it promptly and properly. I moved to Magrath in 1976. I'm married and have 4 children and 5 grandchildren. I owned and operated Magrath Paint and Body for 36 years. I love to curl, golf, and ride my bike. I'm passionate about woodworking and take great pride in everything I do. Since being elected to town council, I've enjoyed the challenges and successes of being on council. I'm a hard worker, persistent, self-motivated, and enjoy helping others. I've been working for the community, making it a welcoming environment for all. Thank you.
My name is Brenda Beck. I've had the pleasure of getting to know many of you over the years, and it's been a really great experience. I have great respect for the people in this community, and I actually went to high school here. Some of you may not know that. It was 100 years ago. Had the opportunity to be an administrator in your elementary school for 15 plus years and really loved the staff that I worked with there, and had a chance to partner with many parents who came in and talked about concerns. I'm also very respectful of the people that I've worked with on council. Had the chance to work with councilors the first 3 years, and then some different ones the last 4 years, and I can't tell you how much I respect each and every one of those individuals. We don't always agree, and I think that's great. I believe that we need to have a welcoming community where diversity is welcomed and respected, and the majority of those of you in different spheres than I go, I have great respect for you as well. But if you've ever heard Jack Johnson sing, believe we're better together. So I'm really looking forward to working for you again, if you give me the opportunity. Don't ask me any hard questions. Thank you very much.
I look out in the audience and I see a lot of very good, caring people. I know most of you looking forward to, at one time I knew everybody, but times change, Magrath grows. My name is Craig Gobleton, I forgot to say that. I've lived in Magrath with my wife, Sherry, for the last 43 years. We've raised 5 children here, and we're raising grandchildren here too. Out of the last 43 years here, 25 years of that I've been lucky enough to work in Magrath. So I've had an opportunity to cross paths with a lot of you over the years, and feel that I'm a lot closer to knowing what Magrath wants and needs by being able to talk to people. I am so proud to be able to say that I'm a town councillor for Magrath. We have been, over the last 100 years, we've been so fortunate in the quality of people that have run Magrath. It's mind-boggling, and that's why we have such a great community today. Is because of all those people that were dedicating their time and energy and their family life and everything towards it. There's been some great ones, mayors and councillors. If anybody that knows me, one thing I am is honest, and I strive hard to be that. If anybody wants to ask me questions, I'll do everything I can to answer honestly. And I just would like to another term to complete some of my wanted events, and looking forward to meeting every one of you again. Thank you.
My name's Devar Dal. I was a school teacher and assistant for 32 years. I've been on town council. Actually, the first time I was elected was in 1980. And I was just counting up, and so in the 37 years since then, I've been on council for 26 of them. Our family came to Magrath in 1953 when I was 2, and I've been a Magrathite since then. I love Magrath. I love this place, and I'm happy that I've been able to serve on council as much as I have. I like Magrath. I would like Magrath to stay a healthy environment. And in that regard, I decided in the 1980s I wouldn't drive a car any place I could reach on a bicycle, and I've done that. And I even had kids ask me in schools, Mr. Dow, do you even have a driver's license? I took that as a compliment. And I guess inside, I still, even though I'm getting up there, I feel like a kid. I still like to ride my bike. I like to go down the creek and see the leopard frogs, and I'm pleased that, I know people are going to say, yeah, he was going to say something about that, but we put Magrath on the leopard frog map, and I'm proud that I was part of that. And so that's any environment that can sustain amphibians is healthy, and so I like that. I like being on the town council where we are cohesive, where we work together and cooperate and do stuff. I think the council has done that, and I feel like I can be part of that team. I'm concerned about the library. I want the library in the school to be the best library possible. I want to be a community hub. I've been assigned to work with the FCSS, the Family and Community Social Services, and there's been a lot of interest, and I think it's time to reassess that, and so that's something we do. So I appreciate being on council, and I ask your support. Thank you.
It's easy to talk to you without my glasses on, so I don't have to see anybody, so it's talk. My name is Fernando Morales. Some of you know me, some of you guys don't. I got here to Magrath almost 25 years ago, chasing a girl all the way from Utah. And the first image that I got of Magrath, it was just like, what a beautiful town. My parents came to the wedding all the way from Mexico. And to this day, they always say, how is Magrath? They always think of this town as the way they saw it 25 years ago. And now, after I have traveled through several parts in the world, I see the town as it hasn't changed. It hasn't changed at all. The people are here. These games are the same. encouragement, the people, the spirit is the same, which is great. It's a beautiful community. Out of all the places that I have lived in the world, I would find it hard to live, to change. I wouldn't change what we have in this town. But after all those many years that I have traveled, I have learned what it is, my profession. I'm a construction manager by profession, a professional construction manager. And currently I'm a facilities manager for the church. The things that I saw 25 years ago in this town, I would like to keep for the generations to come. My kids are growing up and probably they won't see this town again. But I would like to see the kids of the kids that are right now here in this town enjoy the benefits that you have gone through, that I have enjoyed, and that everybody in this town deserves to have. I think that there's a lot of things that we can improve, and with the help of all the town and everybody here in this table, we can do a lot of good. Thank you.
Mr. Moderator, fellow councillors, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure for me to be here this evening. 4 years ago, a group of people came to me and asked if I'd like to be on council, and I thought I might not like to do that again. I had done that for 30 years at Vermilion and served on the school board there, and then they came back and talked to me again, and I put my name forward. So I want to thank those individuals for nominating me, and for those that nominated me this year for putting their trust in me again. I also have a pretty good sized family, and now I have a whole bunch of grandkids. I can't even count them anymore, but love every one of them. We've lived in a number of different communities over the years, and then a few years ago we decided it was just about time to retire, and we looked all over southern Alberta. We wanted to live closer to our church, and thought we'd go to southern Alberta, and we looked and looked, and we ended up in Magrath. And the reason we ended up in Magrath, one night we were here at a wedding, and my wife and I were driving up and down the streets, and we seen the kids playing with each other and no care in the world, and we thought, boy, this has got to be a good community. And the following morning I bought some land, and we built a home here, and are very happy that we're living here. There are a number of issues that need to be addressed, and our mayor spoke to that this evening, and we heard from one of the school trustees. The fix is money. And I don't want to go to the taxpayers for that money. If there are grants available and there's government money available, of course we're going to use it. But otherwise, we have to be careful with our money. And I've been known as a tightwad, and I'm still a bit of a tightwad, and I'm going to continue being a bit of a tightwad because I'd like to be careful with the dollars that you people contribute to the taxes. Thank you.
My name is Rock DeMar. I moved here from Calgary about 10 years ago with my family. We moved down here to kind of get out of the rat race, live in a quieter community, and we've enjoyed it here. I have a master's degree in civil engineering and a specialization in project management, and I've been self-employed for the past 20 years. I'm running for town council because I feel that infrastructure has not been as high a priority as I think it should have been over the past few years. I feel like I could make a difference in that regard. If I were elected to council, I would do what I can to keep that on the agenda of council every meeting. And I believe that we need to have a detailed plan and budget for every street. We need to identify the needs on every street and make a plan for each street. And then prioritize things. Other issues that are important to me, I think it's time that Magrath had a new pool. I believe there is a deer problem, and that it's time that we did something about that. It's only going to get worse. I think the first thing that we should try is to relocate the deer. It's not going to be easy. The other thing that's important to me is the library. Although I opposed the library initially, moving it to the school, I now realize that it's important to stand behind that. But we need to decide what we're going to do with the library building. And that's a big issue, and the people that build the library should have a place at the table in that discussion. Thank you.